Hello everyone, Niev here, and happy December. All right, so we are doing my magical month of November, and let's get started. Okay, so we will start off, I think we'll start off with my moon readings and stuff. So let's go to the month here, Samhain. So Samhain, Samhain is the Irish word for the month of November, so that's why it says Samhain here. I have all of my months in Irish, so yeah, so Samhain, or Halloween, being October 31st, it's actually Icha Hauna, which means the night before Samhain, the night of Samhain. So Samhain is actually the entire month of November, and I celebrate the Sabbats, the fire festivals, the Celtic fire festivals, on their exact astrological date, and that's calculated by the midpoint between the previous solstice or equinox and the next solstice or equinox. So this year, that happened to be on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the 6th. The numbers in here are really tiny, and sometimes, because of the decorations that I do in here, sometimes I can't even see the numbers. But yeah, so November 6th was Samhain for me, so that's when I celebrated it. And we have the full moon in Taurus, third quarter moon in Leo, new moon in Scorpio. Was it Scorpio? I actually think, I wonder if this was technically Sagittarius, because, Sagittarius starts here, so maybe it was Scorpio, but I wrote in here Sagittarius. I mean, whatever. And then the last one was the first quarter in Pisces. All right, so let me go to the moon readings here. Boop, 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 boop. All right, so this first one, the full moon in Taurus, so as you can see, I don't have a picture, and I don't have anything indicating what deck I used. And before this video started, I was like trying to figure out what on earth did I use. And I gotta tell you, I have no idea. I have no idea what deck I used. Maybe it was the... So I have a feeling it might have been Guardians of the Night, or Guardian of the Night. Yeah, it's just singular. Guardian of the Night. So I have a feeling it was this one, but I'm not sure. And this is what happens when I don't write down what deck I used. And normally I take a picture of it, but for some reason I don't have a picture of this, so I have no idea if this is the deck I used or not. But in any case, I do really like this deck a lot. And yeah, so the elephant washi tape here, I use a lot of times if I use a deck that I associate with like Hindu deities, and the Guardian of the Night I do often use with my Hindu deities. So it could have been this one, or it could have been the Prisma Visions, because I also like it with the Prisma Visions. So anyway, I don't know which one I used for this, but there we go. There was the full moon in Taurus. Okay, so the third quarter moon, that was in Leo, and I used my brand new deck. I used the Oracle of Many Paths. Now, what I did for this, I did actually already discuss essentially exactly what I did I believe it was the video that I showcased this deck in, so the walkthrough of this deck. And I think I also mentioned it in another video too. So there was a spread in the book for the Oracle of Many Paths, which I don't have in front of me right now, but and it was kind of a tableau. I think it was like all 78 cards were all laid out, and then they were kind of read in quadrants. Well, I don't want to lay out all 78 of these cards, especially since they're normal tarot size. So what I did the 4 quadrants. That I really like that, where I did past mindset, future mindset, past desires, future desires. But instead of having a whole thing on there, I just did 2 cards per. So it was like, this was the past mindset. Sorry, the book's right there. This was the future mindset. I am a little out of frame there. The past desires and the future desires. So that was essentially what I did, was that sort of layout, and then read these cards together. And then what I also did, so here's my book here. So past mindset, I got cards 57, which was the 8 of Swords, and card 25, the 4 of Wands. So I did a sort of interpretation of the 2 cards together. And then what I did is I added up the numerology of this. So 5 plus 7 is 12, and that reduces down to 3. And then 2 and 5 is 7. So 3 plus 7 is 10, which reduces to 1. So I kind of just did some numerology stuff. So my past mindset was a 1. Then future mindset was a 9. And then this was funny. My past desires were 9. So I got what I wanted. And then my future desires are a 1. So that is certainly something to read into. But I did really enjoy this. And I used this deck a few times this month. So yeah, and I also used it as a nightly reader. So when we get to my nightly reader book, we can check out the combinations that I did for that. Now, I will say that it is a little bit of a struggle to use this deck, only because it is such a unique system, and it, you know, and as you saw, it doesn't say what the name of the cards are on each card. It just says card number 45. So you kind of have to, like, this deck requires a study for sure. And it kind of you kind of have to learn what the numbers are associated with in each of the in the tarot. And of course, the first 22, well, 0, so 21 plus 0 is the major arcana. So that's actually pretty easy, you know. So that one obviously is the it's the Empress, right? It's a 3. Yeah, I think so. 1 is the Magician, 2 is the High Priestess, 3 is the Empress. Yes. So, you know, some of them, you know, the first 22 of them are easy, but then the rest is a little bit confusing. But so card 77, that's going to be a Queen of Pentacles. So there we go. So it does take a little bit to get used to. And when I was using it as my nightly reader, I did not have the book with me. So it was a bit challenging. So the next moon reading, I don't have anything written here, and it may have been in Scorpio instead of Sagittarius, as we discussed. So I don't have anything written here, but I did have a picture. And yeah, so what I use a combination of things. So let me pull those out. Okay, so for this reading, I went with a combination of decks, as you can see. So I used the Illuminated Earth Oracle, and the box for that is right here, the Illuminated Earth Oracle. I still don't have bags for these yet. I want to get the Faceted Garden before I complete my collection here. So of course the Rain Shadow Tarot. Those are both by the same creator, Claire Mack, I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Claire Mack. And then I also used my brand new Lenormand deck, and this is the Lenormand Della Luna from Patrick Valenza, and I really enjoyed this. So what I did is I started off with a kind of a theme or a message. I think that, yeah, I think what I was doing, because my new moons are always done with on Morrigan, the Irish goddess, and I also had a Hindu deity that I was also consulting during this particular reading. So this was kind of a message from a deity, a message of something to think about the upcoming month. And then I used the Lenormand cards as actually houses. So it wasn't a reading in and of itself, but rather it was houses for the tarot reading underneath, which I read in a tableau style. Also I have a tableau style card reading series on my channel, and I feel like the card reading community has really started to go into the direction of tableau style reading, because I see it a lot more now. And, you know, so maybe I was a little too late with coming out with my tableau series, or maybe I'm right on time. I don't know. But I mean, in any event, you know, my videos don't really get a lot of views anyway. But yeah, so I do have a tableau style series on my channel, and it's talking about how to read cards in that tableau style. And by that, I mean, like how you would read a Lenormand, basically using Lenormand techniques for other card systems, or also combining it with Lenormand or other systems, etc. Yeah, so please go check that out. I think I have 3 full-length videos out, but I am also doing shorter versions, shorter like 3-minute videos on TikTok and Instagram. So there we go. Anyway, so this reading, yeah, so there was like a general message from deity here, and it was something I need to focus on this month. So in this particular reading, it would be concealed, something concealed. So something is concealed, or I need to conceal something. Well, since it's past tense, it's something is concealed, maybe I need to uncover whatever is concealed. So that might be how I interpret that. Of course, this is a sample reading, not what my actual reading was. So this would be the House of Child, House of Ring, House of Book, and book I would connect with concealed, since you know, we could one of the interpretations of book in Lenormand is that secrets or uncovering knowledge, etc. So then the reading would actually be under here. So Star in the House of Child, Ace of Pentacles in the House of Ring, so nice opportunity there. And then 9 of Cups in the book. Maybe it's an opportunity that I really needs to be uncovered, because 9 of Cups is kind of that wish card, and this is actually pretty positive reading here. This is not the reading I got, sadly, but not that the reading I got was bad, but yeah, but this combination was actually quite nice. Oh, there we go. And then I'll pull out these here. So in this particular reading, it would be the House of Stork, the House of Mountain, and the House of Cross. And the theme would be multiverse, which is actually a card I got in one of my readings this month. And then 4 of Pentacles in the House of Stork, the Emperor in the House of Mountain, and the Moon in the House of Cross. So there we go. I really enjoyed this combination, and you will be seeing a lot of these 2 decks this month because I accidentally kept using this deck. Clearly I was in the mood for these Claire Mac decks because I kept using them this month. So I think it's pretty obvious what my favorite Oracle and Tarot are going to be by the end of this video. Yeah, all right. So the next reading, this was the first quarter moon in Pisces. Yes, I don't have that written here. I just have a little pencil mark right there saying first quarter, but I've got to put first quarter moon in Pisces. Obviously, I don't have the interpretation written here, but it's because I didn't have this decorated when I did the reading, but I do actually have it written back here. So I do have my reading written back here in my notes section, so I will transfer that to the monthly pages. All right, finding where I was at, and here we go. All right, so Illuminated Earth and Rain Shadow again. So I will show what I did here, even though, I mean, we just saw these cards, but I'm pulling them out again just to show what I did. So let me lay them out. Okay, so what I was doing, I was kind of doing a combination of the two decks and doing a tableau style. I was doing a 6 card, very specifically just doing the arrows in the 6 card. And what I mean by that is I laid down the first 3 cards were from the Oracle, and this represented the as above or message from above, I guess. So let's say I started right here. And just did an arrow up, the arrow up of a 6 card like that. I don't normally lay down a 6 card like that. Normally I lay down a 6 card, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. But with this one, I went this way. Let me adjust the camera a little bit there. And so with the tarot part, this was my as above or spiritual guidance. And then this, the cards the other arrow was my so below, and it was my mundane guidance. A guidance for my spiritual path and a guidance for my mundane life. So that was kind of what I did. So so I read it like that. So I read the as above, and then I read the so below, and then I kind of read it like it was a 6 card. So you know, beginning, middle, and end of the reading, and then like the subconscious up here, and the more tangible down here, the foundation, subconscious, or not subconscious, but you know, the intangible and the tangible, you know, and then from there, I read the frame, so the 4 corners here. This was the frame of the reading, what's framing everything. And then I did the primary knighting and the secondary knighting. So there we go. So that was my reading for that, and it was pretty interesting. And I'm going to experiment with this layout a little bit more in the future. So cool. So that was all the moon readings, and there was a Sabbath this month, as mentioned. Let me find the Sabbath page. So it was, of course, Samhain, and I don't have anything written here. I do have some stickers, but I don't have the picture of the reading. But I actually did the reading for this on camera, and it was a tarot tag that I did. And oh gosh, what was... I can't remember off the top of my head what the name of the tarot tag was, so I'll put that on the screen during editing. But my Samhain video is actually the full reading that I did, and I used lots of different decks for that. So I'm not even going to bother to pull all those out. So go check that one out. Maybe I'll also put up the picture of the reading in editing. And yeah, so it was a very fun tag, and I'll put the creators, the name of the creator who did the tag on the screen as well. So definitely go check that out. It was super cool. Okay, so my nightly reader in my Hobonichi weeks here, my tarot journal. So the week that we were on, the start was this one. And it took me forever to remember what I used for this because I hadn't put in the stickers yet of what I used, but I did finally remember what it was. So I will pull out those cards right now. Okay, so as you can see, I used the Phenomena Oracle. And I also used the Prisma Visions Tarot, the mini version, because that is the version that I have. So I love this combination. I think I'm a little bit too far away. Maybe I'll zoom in. Okay, hopefully that's good enough. So yeah, obviously, I feel like this combination goes together quite well. This Blizzard card is kind of funny because it almost looks completely white, but there is there is variation in that. So it is an interesting card for sure. Yeah, so I love the energy of these two decks together. The Phenomena is an interesting deck. It is one that I'm still kind of getting used to, still kind of figuring out how I use it. And I'm pretty sure in this week I just sort of used it as a general theme going on here, a vibe for the next day, and then this was the challenge for the next day, and this is the advice for the next day. And that sort of layout, the theme for the next day, the challenge, and the advice is something I've been using more and more lately as my predictive reading. Yeah, and I have been enjoying it. Decompose with the challenge being 9 of Wands, so a sort of perseverance, and then the Hierophant is the advice, so kind of sticking to the plan, sticking to the tradition, etc. And yeah, that's kind of how I would go with that. Yeah, so I've been enjoying this combination. I like a lot of different decks with the Prismavisions. I love James R. Eads' work. And then Jessica Bott's work is nice too, because it's like opposite energies. James R. Eads' artwork is very, very detailed, which is something I love. I love a lot of detail. But Jessica Bott's art is very pared down, very like vector graphic kind of style, and it kind of tames all the wildness in James R. Eads' work, and then it kind of brings it down to the primary, like the focus colors, like especially with something like this where it's got one main color here, and we can find those colors in the other decks and kind of get that energy of the reading there. So cool. Okay, so the next week, we are back with the Illuminated Earth and the Green Glyphs Tarot. So let me pull those out. Okay, so I love this combination again. The Green Glyphs is a tricky deck to, or the groupings of decks, because there's 4 different Green Glyphs decks. One's a tarot, one's a Lenormand, one's an oracle, one is runes. And I have all 4 of those, and I love them. But they are difficult to pair with other decks because of the coloring of the cards that are kind of this kind of got a yellowy hue to them. So they are a little bit difficult to pair, but one of the decks that they go really well with are the Illuminated Earth, and I would guess the Faceted Garden as well, though I don't have that deck yet. And they also look really nice with the Rain Shadow Tarot as well. So obviously it's by the same artist. So, I mean, I'm doing the same sort of card combination here, where we've got the center card representing the energy for the next day, and the card to the left of that representing the challenge I'll face that day, and then the advice on how to handle it. And I've really, really been enjoying this. So the other thing I did, so I did this most of the days, but one of the days I actually did a 2 card where I did like this, and these 2 cards being read together, tableau style. These were being read together to represent the challenge, and these 2 cards were being read together to represent the advice. So I mean, I really enjoyed that. And also I do enjoy 5 cards, 5-card readings a little bit more than 3 cards usually, just because I feel like I get a little bit more information with a 5-card. Obviously, we got 2 extra cards, but like, I don't know, there's it feels more complete to me, so I do enjoy that. However, my nightly readers, I do tend to stick with 3 cards, but I was experimenting here with a 5-card, and I did really enjoy it. So obviously, this combination is a big winner for me. I love this one. And it looks very nice with the green glyphs, which is a big bonus for me because it really is a difficult deck to pair. Yeah, all right, cool. Okay, so next up, the next week, I did the Alchemical Tarot. So I was in the mood for something a bit more like, esoteric or a bit more mystical maybe. So I did go with the Alchemical Tarot, and I basically just did 3-card readings. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely something that's a bit more cerebral, a bit more what is the, I mean, esoteric, yeah, sure, but I think cerebral is the better term, maybe. Kind of that old world style. Love Robert M. Place's artwork. It's just, it certainly has a vibe, does it not? It has a vibe, and I really just stuck with the with this one deck this week, and just did just a 3-card reading. I mean, we could do that whole energy obstacle advice, but I think I just kind of read it as 3 cards being read together for the energy for the next day. And yeah, now it is a bit different because it's so cerebral and there's so much symbolism and all of that to the cards. I did, I was using the little white book here, and just kind of, there's just a little simple sentence for each of the cards. For the major arcana, some of them have a bit more, some of them have a couple sentences, but so it's just a simple sentence, and I was kind of using this book to sort of kickstart things for me. And obviously Robert M. Place's decks maybe require a study, and I would really like the book that kind of goes with this, something a bit meatier than this little white book. But I do have it on my wish list on for Christmas, but we'll see. Eventually I'll get it, and at some point I'll do some sort of study on this deck and some of his other decks, which I also have on my wish list. So we'll see where that goes. Yeah. And as far as deck studies go and my plans on that, I mean, I will be, December is that month where we start talking about our plans for the next year, or, communicating our plans for the next year. So there will be videos that I come out with this month going over my plans. So there are a few deck studies I'm planning on doing in 2026. Yeah, there's so much to do, to get through. I want to do deck studies on like almost all of my decks, so yeah, but I do have some planned. I don't know how exciting they'll be, but for other people, but I'm excited for them. So yeah, so there we go. So the next week, okay, so I did the Oracle of Many Paths and the Klimt Tarot. So let me pull those out. So this is the primary layout I've been enjoying with the Oracle of Many Paths and the Klimt Tarot here. And obviously I have the mini version. It is very mini. See the size difference here. It is quite mini. There we go. Yeah, so this so far has been my primary go-to for this pairing, and so I start off with the path that I'm going down. So this is the starting path, and then I'm reading this as a 5-card line. So I start from the center as the focus of it, and these are the cards that are most affecting it, and the cards that are still affecting but least affecting. Another way to read that is the near past, near future, far past, far future, and that is how I like to read a 5-card line, and that's primarily what I did this week. Now I did, for some of them, I only did a 3-card, so let me just do this. We'll move them over, but I will say that I kind of prefer the 5-card. So yeah, I mean, I don't need to keep changing out the Klimt Tarot. They all kind of look the same. So, I mean, that could be a deterrent of this deck, but I don't mind that. I don't mind that they all kind of look the same. I kind of use them for the vibe, and I love the shininess of it. It's hard to see on camera. Let me see if I can focus there. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, I love the shine of this deck. Let's go back there. All right. So, yeah, and I don't know what it is, but I think it looks really nice next to the Oracle of Many Paths. So I did enjoy this layout for this week. So it was like my path for the day, and then reading the 5-card line. And, my path, the focus, things affecting that, and inner effects, outer effects. So that's what way we can label that. So cool. Okay, so the final week, this was fun. I as you can see, I only did 2 days, but I do love these decks. So I did the Tarot Landscapes and the Tarot of the Great Outdoors. Let me pull those out. So before I pull them out, I just wanted to show the bags here, and which I really love. And these decks they go together so well. So we have the Tarot Landscapes here, Tarot Landscapes, and we have the Tarot of the Great Outdoors. That is right here. And I love this bag that I made for it. I like to talk about it every time because it's just really cool. It's I went with a camping theme, and there's a card in here that has a woman that has a like light blue backpack with patches on it, and so that was my inspiration for this, and I really love it. Okay, so this was basically the layout I use, and it's kind of the layout I just enjoy with this combination, and these two decks go so well together. Now it's funny because the cardstock situation is they both have really shitty cardstock. I'm going to be honest with you there, and I've mentioned this a gajillion times, but I guess there's a new version of the Tarot of the Great Outdoors that does have better cardstock, I hope, but I have the original one, which is like super flimsy and like almost like bending it like that, I feel like I could almost tear the card, and it's still kind of stuck like that after bending it just a little bit there. Whereas we have the opposite issue with this one. As you can see here, there it does have a rock. So there's a rock going on here. But this one, the cardstock is too stiff and thick, you know, so I can't riffle shuffle this hardly at all. It just clumps together, and there's no bend or give to it whatsoever. Whereas this one, I can very easily riffle shuffle, but it's so thin that like it definitely it feels very flimsy. So it's like the opposite issue with these decks. But the theme of these are just absolutely stunning, and they go really well together. And here's the thing, I know they're both tarot, but this Tarot of the Great Outdoors the Tarot Landscapes. The Tarot Landscapes feels very much like an oracle, and I kind of use it like an oracle, and I kind of use it in the same or similar way that I like to use the Oracle of Many Paths. It's kind of those environment type tarot decks. Another example of this would be, say, the Tildwick Tarot, which has been on my wish list for quite some time. But it's a bit of a unicorn deck for me because with shipping, that deck would cost me over $100, and it's just out of my budget. But like decks like that, where it's largely the atmosphere that is the energy of the card. And that's certainly the case with this one. So I read it first, paying attention to the atmosphere. So I'm really paying attention to, like, I'm sort of inserting myself in this place. And in fact, the reading that I did for these, I only did 2 this week, like I said, but the center card was kind of representing my happy place for the next day, my sanctuary. Yeah, and even the difficult cards, where am I finding sanctuary, or where is my happy place in this card? And in fact, one of the days I got like I'm not gonna pull it now, but like I think the 10 of Swords as my happy place, but it was funny because it was day 1 of my period, and so that the feeling of that card was very much a my happy place was just being in peace and quiet. And that is a 10 of Swords. There is a deafening silence with that card, and that was definitely the feeling that I wanted for my happy place. Just I just let me lay here in my pain and not have to deal with the chaos of that day, which it was a little bit of a chaos. So even the negative cards I could read in that positive light like that. And so the center card was my happy place, my sanctuary. Where am I finding sanctuary for the next day? And then I did the same sort of thing where it was obstacle and advice, or challenge and advice, etc. And these decks go really well together, because and like I said, the first thing I do is I insert myself in the card, and I just feel the environment, and then I pay attention to what card I actually pulled. It's hard to ignore that at first, so it kind of plays a part in how I'm feeling about the atmosphere as it is. but you know, then I pay more attention to that fact that this is the Hierophant, okay, and the energy that I might get from that. And so what is the challenge? Here's the Page of Stones. There's something I could read into with that, and the advice is the King of Sticks here. So there we go. And I really, really like, they just go together so well because they're so nature themed. I mean, this one's very people heavy, and where this one is devoid of people. There are no people, I don't think. There are animals, but I don't think there's any people in this deck. So, you know, there is a sort of peaceful energy to this deck, and that is how I like to use it. So I know I only did 2 readings this week with this deck pairing, but it is one of my favorite deck pairings. So I do very much enjoy this. So now we are at my daily agenda, so that's why I have my One Piece book out here. And so I really only bring this one out to show my YouTube plans and what I've done in the previous month. So at the beginning of November, I did my magical month of October, and then I did my open cards. I did my Samhain ritual. And then this was a very fun video, games as oracles. And, you know, it's so funny because like right after I did this video, it was like the next day, Don Michelle posted a video using games as oracles and including magic cards, which I had intended on using in that video. I even had my magic cards right next to me, and I just completely forgot about them while I was doing the video. And she did not forget about them. So she did the magic cards there. I might do more of these in the future, just using regular card games, various from different game systems and stuff, and using them as oracles. So this was a really, really fun video. Please go check that out. My channel could definitely use some love. All right, awesome. And then I did the walkthrough of the Many Paths Oracle. I did my, I switched this. So I also got a new, I got a bunch of smaller new decks, and it was like 4 smaller decks, including the Klimt Tarot, 2 playing card decks, and the Lenormand de la Luna. I showcased all of those in that video, and then I did my Sagittarius study. And then I did the 3rd video in my Tableau series, so please go check that out. I'm really working hard on these Tableau style videos, so yeah. And then I did the last one that I did was my journal setup for 2026. So there will be a kind of a part 2 in the next month, and I will explain that now. Also, please go check out this video because this was a lot of fun to do as well. I did a lot of overlays on that, like B-roll and overlays on that video. Unfortunately, a good chunk of that video was out of focus, and I'm really irritated by that. But I did have a lot of overlays on top, so hopefully it's not too bad. But yeah, there we go. All right, so for December, obviously this video, my magical month of November. The next one will be opening the last month of cards. Then after that, I'm going to be making my new envelopes. So for 2026, I won't be having opening my envelopes as their own video. I'm going to be switching around how I do my monthly videos, and instead of a monthly review, I'm actually going to do a month ahead video. So they're going to be actually at the end of the months. But I will do a short review of the previous month. So yeah, and that's what we have down here at the bottom here. So I will be doing the video of loading up my envelopes for 2026 right here. So then I'm doing my tarot trimester, and that is the primary place where I'm going to be discussing all of my plans for 2026. Yeah. And then I have a Witch's Moon I want to open. So there we go. I'm almost thinking my tarot trimester should be the envelopes one. because I think I'm getting both the Witch's Moon and the Witch's Roots, and they are perhaps coming in at different times. I don't know. I may have to figure that out, but right now this is what I have planned. So for the 20th, I have my Capricorn study video. The 23rd, I have my Yule ritual video. So I don't know what I'm going to do for that. I might just film some family stuff. I don't know. And I think my mom is going to be here during that time as well. So we'll see. So then on the 27th is, I initially had this written as the journal setup number 2, but it's actually going to be my month ahead. Since I'm going to be switching to a month ahead versus a month in review sort of thing. I am going to do that here, and I'm mostly going to be talking about my finished journal setup because my spiritual journal is pretty much almost completely ready. So I'll mostly be going through that. And then the final video of the year will be that hashtag, the tarot tag from Chanel Days, the hashtag end of year tarot, which I've been doing like every year for the past few years. So really excited about that. All right, so those are my YouTube plans for next month. All right, so finally, let me grab the other book here, the Tarot and Oracle Tournament. All right, so I stopped doing this, the decks I used in the month. Yeah, I stopped in May and then just never picked it back up. I kept saying I was going to. I was like, oh, I'll backfill these, or I'll try to do it in the next part. But I honestly I gave up after the 5 months and just never came back and recorded the decks that I used, which I really should, since I'm, my mind blanks on what decks I used, So anyway, let's go to the tarot tournament and the, yeah, so here we go. All right, so my favorite deck of the month, my favorite tarot deck of the month was the Rain Shadow Tarot. Rain Shadow Tarot. And between the Tarot Landscapes and the Rain Shadow Tarot, ooh, that is a good one. I think I'm going to go with Rain Shadow. Yeah, because while I really like the Tarot Landscapes, I do kind of use it more like an oracle, and it's really good for that. Rain Shadow. Sorry, I can't write and talk at the same time. Tarot. Woo. All right. So, yeah, I mean, that was, yeah, I think it makes more sense. I think I get more out of the Rain Shadow Tarot versus the Tarot Landscapes. But, I don't know, they're in a different sort of competition. Maybe the Landscapes would win out. But, yeah, there we go. All right, so my favorite Oracle. Now for 2026, this is going to be combined, and I'm just instead doing my favorite deck of the month. So we will be doing a tournament for 2026, but it'll be the favorite deck overall. So all right, so my favorite Oracle was the Illuminated Earth. I don't know what it was about those two decks, Illuminated. Or Earth Oracle. I don't know what it was about those two decks, but I was just really in the mood for them. And, that one moon reading, I completely forgot what decks I used because I hadn't decorated that page yet. So I ended up using the same decks for the next moon reading. And, obviously I was just in the mood for it. So between the Urban Crow and the Illuminated Earth, that is a good one. Both of those have a very similar energy. Like they're a very similar style of oracle cards. So that's a tough call, and I feel like I could go back and forth. I'm gonna give it to the Urban Crow for right now. Yeah, Urban Crow. But yeah, on another day, I may actually, I could easily see myself picking the Illuminated Earth. Yeah, I mean, that's really good. All right, so the winners this month were Rain Shadow Tarot, Illuminated Earth, and narrowed that down to Rain Shadow Tarot and Urban Crow. Yeah. All right, cool. So that is the tarot tournament. Now, I did bring in some decks that I don't know. Yeah, I didn't fill this out. Okay, I really quickly wrote in here, I'm going to have to go over it with the darker marker, but the Klimt Tarot and the Oracle of Many Paths. Now, I didn't put this in the Oracle section because this is actually a tarot. It's called the Oracle of Many Paths, and you can use it like an oracle, but it is actually set up like a tarot. So I put it in the tarot section, even though it's kind of both. It's kind of that overlapping sort of energy there. And then for the Oracle decks, I put in the Lenormand de la Luna. So those were the new decks I brought in. I may be missing a deck or two. I don't put in, I don't record playing card decks that I receive, so I don't include that in here. But yeah, so far these were all the decks that I've gotten in the year. And the last section is my wish list, which I often don't even add to. I have it there, and I will also have a wish list for 2026, which I've already started. Yeah, I have not been adding to this. But yeah, anyway, so that is my magical month of November. All right, there we go. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye.